Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I am coming to you today with the review for How to Get Away with Murder, Season 5, Episode 11. So, you guys, we about to start winding it up. I think we have, 16 episodes? I think it's only 5 left. Don't they usually do 16 episodes? So we're going to start winding up these storylines. I'm enjoying the show. It's a different kind of enjoyment, though. You know, before my heart would be racing and I'd be, real confused and trying to figure out what's going on. I don't have that kind of feeling anymore. Now everything just feels so heavy. The show is kind of just a tad bit depressing. These motherfuckers can't have a good month to save their life. It's always something going on. So anyway, but I am still enjoying the show. I watched it this morning. I didn't feel like all that last night. But anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with Real Nice Nate being swabbed. You know, he's in an interrogation room. I was just like, oh my God, Real Nice Nate, what didn't happen now? He gets a call from Annalise, and she was just like, where are you? And he was like, I'm, down here with the FBI. And she was like, oh no, I'm on my way down there. You can't be talking to them. And he was like, no, you stay away. You have nothing to do with this. And so when he hangs up the phone, they come in there, and they're questioning him. Where were you on December 15th? Oh, he was at the wedding with Annalise. That's his friend. They're questioning their relationship. Oh, weren't you on trial for killing her husband? He was like, yeah, I was falsely accused and she was my lawyer. Okay, now we get through all of that. But finally, Real Nice Nate lowers the boom on him and says that Miller ordered the inquest so that he and the governor can set his father up to be killed. Okay, so he done put a little something on their head. Then the camera rewinds back 24 hours. And we see Bonnie and Annalise and Real Nice Nate listening to this recording of Miller calling the warden. Okay, Bonnie over there looking real sickly. And Annalise looks concerned. Well, Real Nice Nate is not convinced. Like, that don't mean nothing. Okay, he just called them to cover it up. Well, Annalise is not too sure about that. So he says, well, you know what? If you want proof, I'm going to go get proof. And she was like, wait a minute, Real Nice Nate, listen. Okay, now you digging your own grave here. Nobody is going to believe you against a white woman governor. Real Nice Nate is still convinced that he's not the bad guy, she is. But Bonnie was just like, we may have made a mistake. He said, no, he ain't made no mistake. He gonna go get his proof, okay? And y'all don't worry about Real Nice Nate. He got this. That poor Bonnie was about to break, child. She looked like a wilted flower. She's going on to work. What else is she supposed to do? And Annalise is like, wait a minute, Bon. Okay, hold on. Come on back after you get off of work. And she was just like, I'm fine. I'm going to work. You ain't got to worry about me. But, Annalise is like, Bonnie, don't hurt yourself, okay? Because that doesn't solve anything. But Bonnie looks like she's about at the end of her rope. So Annalise calls Asher and she tells him, look, get on down there to your office and keep an eye on Bonnie. He was like, what is going on? Is she okay? And she was just like, just make sure that she's fine. Asher was like, oh, I thought you was calling for something else. And Annalise was like, what else would I be calling for? And he says, oh, the Keaton 5 minus 1 knows. I said, Asher, you are so fucking stupid. So next we see Annalise talking to the kids. Okay, of course, here she comes to save the day. Her damn misfit kids that she has to always be there for them because otherwise they they pitiful. So they promising her that they're not going to say anything. Well, everybody is there except for Laurel. Well, where is Laurel? We don't know where she is. Well, Annalise was like, well, find her ass. When she walks away, Steen comes in the office and she sees them and she's all pumped up about the case, okay? And they're all just like, oh, yeah, about the case. Michaela tells her, yeah, Real Nice Nate, he ain't ready to, do this case right now. And she was like, what? Not after I done convinced the big boss to let me try this case. Okay, this is a sure thing. Like, no, we not fixing to let this one go. And Michaela and them are just like, I said, I told you that, Michaela. But you know what? Something tells me that some kind of way Michaela's, her extreme need to always be in the business and almost fucking it up. For some reason, I feel like her case is going to help in some sort of way. I just don't know how. Okay. But yeah, Annalise said find Laurel. So she calls Laurel and Laurel doesn't answer. Okay. Where's Laurel? Well, Laurel is out there confronting Bonnie in the damn garage. Bonnie, did Christopher see anything that night? Bonnie turns around and looks at her like, bitch, ain't nobody feel like this today. Laurel and the eyebrows. Do you know what happens to children that see things like that? They internalize it and they have PTSD and then they suffer for the rest of their lives. I was like, girl, listen. You crazy. Wes did some shit. If we gonna pray over the baby that he all right too. Okay, but that boy ain't gonna remember nothing that happened that night. You know, she going off on Bonnie. Bonnie, today is not the day. Bonnie just looked like she just going to shrink away even more. Asher hears them arguing, or hears Laurel yelling at her, I should say. And he comes and he was like, Laurel, leave her alone. Like, you know, she's still going through some things. And she was like, I don't care. And that's the only reason why I haven't killed her yet. I said, bitch, if you and your eyebrows don't go some damn where, I'm telling you that Laurel, she gets on my nerves so bad. Like, I tweeted, I really wonder if the writers realize how unlikable she is. Like, do they believe that we all like her? Or are they trying to make us really not? Because she's so self-important, self-serving, doesn't realize the mistakes that she's made in the past. I mean, she is just, honestly, she's the worst character ever. I mean, I've never really liked Laurel, but this season is just almost, she's just insufferable. Anyway, when Laurel and her eyebrows leaves, Asher asks Bonnie, can he do anything? And she just looks at him and said, you promised you wouldn't tell anybody. Well, you shouldn't have thought that Asher was going to be able to hold on to it. Now, jumping over to Real Nice Nate, you know, he told him that he was going to get proof, right? Okay, well, he's outside of, I guess, the lead juror from his dad's wrongful death case. He's outside of his home. So the man is coming to his car, and Real Nice Nate is just like, hey, okay, nigga, don't this big old black man come walking up on this Asian man like in the middle. No, you come on, Real Nice Nate, you asking for problems. But he walks up to him and the guy was like, well, you know, we were told we are not supposed to talk to you. And Real Nice Nate was like, yeah, they told you that, but listen, I got some questions. All right, so after he, you know, chatted up with the man, he finds out that they got some DNA, a DNA packet on his father, supposedly, that placed his DNA on the gun. Okay, even though that was never introduced in the case. Somehow the packet was slipped to them. The warden gave it to them, but nobody in the case ever knew about it. Okay, so now Real Nice Nate was just like, there's some trickery going on here. Now, back at the firm, we see Annalise and her boss. What's his name? You guys know I'm talking about. They're going to meet with the woman that he's in the lawsuit against and her lawyer, because the case is coming up in court soon. And we just got to, you know, everybody needs to meet and make sure that we on the same page of how this court case is going to go the next day. So, the woman's lawyer, he's saying, you know, this, that, and the other. And Annalise was like, yeah, that's not the plan that we gonna go with. So then Annalise tells them the plan that they gonna go with, which is placing blame on the pharmaceutical company. Now, it's a whole bunch of shit, that legal mumble jumble that was going on here. It don't really matter. So they want to place blame on this pharmaceutical company. The lawyer was like, no, because you guys will lose your jobs, and, you know, she gonna lose her stock, and no. So we're going to go with the plan that we got. Laurel gets to work, and she's still pouting about Bonnie. All right, and telling them how, you know, the baby is going to be having PTSD from seeing what happened. And, you know, Oliver and Michaela are trying to tell her, like, no, the baby's going to be fine. But Connor goes and says, oh, well, you know what, she is right. There is proof that some babies I was just like, oh my God, we don't need your cosign right now, Connor. See, these are the things that made me, you know, remember how much I used to hate Connor too. But whatever, Laurel is so overwhelmed. She was like, tell Annalise I'm going to take the day off, or take a sick day. And they're like, Annalise knows that we know. Okay, so you can't do that, and just get yourself prepared for the questions that's going to be coming from the FBI. And speaking of the FBI, Gabe is meeting with the FBI. Remember, they called him about his voicemail that he left on Miller's phone? All right, so what was that all about? Well, he tells her Miller had approached him about, you know, helping him with this investigation. They thought that maybe Annalise was involved in a lot of criminal activity, but he wasn't really familiar on what exactly the investigation entailed. At least that's what he tells the FBI. Okay, well, when's the last time you saw Miller? Well, it's been a month or two, you know, in person. I guess he's just been talking to him on phone or through the computer. Well, probably just on phone. And so then the lady says, so you didn't see him at the wedding? And he was like, no, I didn't even know he was there. What about Real Nice Nate? He's like, oh yeah, I knew Real Nice Nate was there. He was there with Annalise. So at least that story kind of matches up. Now Asher goes to apologize to Bonnie, and again, he wants to help. Okay, she was just like, look, I know Annalise sent you here. Tell her I'm fine. You guys ain't got to be babysitting me. Oh, and by the way, you were right. Okay, did listen to the tapes, and Miller did call the warden just to thank him. It was nothing about setting up anything. And he was just like, oh my God, like I know this is too much for you, Bonnie. You can't do this by yourself. Like, let me help you. And she was just like, no, like this is on me. Okay, when I walked up to Miller, he was still breathing. He was in shock. I could have called 911. Like, I'm the one that pulled the plug. And I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, why are you telling Asher even more stuff? Okay, it's clear that the nigga can't hold water. You'd have done better going on the PA system and letting the whole damn courthouse know. Now, back at the firm, Gorgeous Gabe makes it to the office. Okay, he sees Annalise. He wants to talk to her, and she was just like, you know what, don't talk to me. I don't have nothing to say to you, not now and not ever. So she get on the elevator, and she gets on where she going, and he goes, and he sees the students. They sitting there talking to Steen, and Steen is trying to tell him, you know, how they gonna proceed on Real Nice Nate's case, and they keep on trying to stall Steen. And Gorgeous Gabe comes and puts his legal wisdom on it, you know, and co-signs what Steen is trying to say. And they're all just looking at Gorgeous Gabe like, ain't nobody fucking asked you. Let us handle this. And then when Steen walks away, Gorgeous Gabe was like, I'm just trying to help, Ike. They was like, nigga, if nobody needs your help today, Real Nice Nate don't need this in his life right now. And he was like, well, what's going on with Real Nice Nate? Is he okay? And again, please get out of this. Okay, we got this A and B conversation. See yourself out. They're not trying to let Gorgeous Gabe know anything. Okay, now, speaking of Real Nice Nate, we see him meeting up with his plug. Okay, he in the car. The plug got her good side eye on him, though. Okay, he tells her how he needs, you know, the information on this DNA packet. All right, and she was just like, yeah, I don't really know about that. Okay, because the last time I helped you out, that person ended up missing. All right, now what's going on? Why is Miller gone? Real Nice Nate tells her that the people that have kidnapped or harmed Miller wherever he is, okay, set him up because they thought that he was going to snitch as far as, you know, setting up this whole hit on his father. So she was just like, okay, I mean, you know, you better be glad you so fine. Okay, even though you look a little scruffy today. But yeah, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna see what I can find for you. But like I said, she got her good cat eye on him. Now at the firm, Annalise is talking to the boss. Why I can't think of his name, you guys? What is his name? Anyway, she ain't real comfortable with the direction that they want to go. The boss wants to take the misconduct hit because he feels, you know, he's in love with the woman and he can't let her, you know, be in trouble and all of that. And Annalise says, well, look, I'm just going to let you know that you need to stop putting your needs behind everybody else's, okay? And he says, oh, just like you, huh? And she says, well, I'll tell you this. Every time I put myself second, some bad shit go down. So you better be concerned the most about yourself. While she's talking to him, she gets a text message from Real Nice Nate. He says, I have proof. And she was like, oh shit, I got to go. And what's the proof? Okay, it's the DNA test, the DNA packet that was given to the jury. Miller slipped it to the bailiff, and they didn't realize it in court. Annalise was like, okay, slow your roll because that still doesn't prove that Miller did it. Well, Real Nice Nate was, you can't tell him no difference. And she was like, just because you got a damn gut feeling. Gut feelings do not win cases, even though Annalise always works on her gut, okay? But Annalise is the lawyer here, so you know. So she's trying to explain to him, like, we can't go on that. I know you feel very strongly, but we have to have proof in order to win something like that. It can't be the truth just because you want it to be. It has to be the truth because that's what it is. Real Nice Nate is still telling her, like, please, Annalise, just have my back. Okay, have my back on this one, and we'll get out of this. Annalise leaves Real Nice Nate, and she's still concerned about Bon Bon. Hasn't talked to her. She don't know where Miss Winterbottom is. Okay, she calls her, but of course Bonnie doesn't answer. And then the camera shows Bonnie in her car in her garage. She is about to kill herself. She got the car running, and she is just thinking about Miller and all of the great things that he was to her, and how she didn't kill him in cold blood. They don't call him Miss Cold Ass for nothing. Then we see Real Nice Nate at the same time, you know, memories of his his father looking at pictures, you know, the only picture that he has of him and his dad together. They laughing, you know, just thinking about like what could have been if him and his father was able to kind of start their lives over. And Bonnie is in that same mind frame. So everybody is fucked up right now, right? I said, oh, Bonnie, please don't let it end this way. Well, fine ass Frank to the rescue. He comes, we see him come into the garage, opens the door to her car, turns it off, picks her up, and carries her into the house. I said, oh. Now who gonna go get Real Nice Nate? I shouldn't be laughing. But Real Nice Nate seems to be okay. Okay, actually he calls Bonnie and Fine Ass Frank answers. And he was like, Fine Ass Frank, what you doing answering the phone? He was like, don't worry about it, you know. And Real Nice Nate was like, well, where's Bonnie? And he says, well, she's resting. Well, Real Nice Nate was trying to get her to look up the custody chain of this gun. And Fine Ass Frank says, no, she's not doing that. Okay, and as a matter of fact, I'm worried about all this that's going on. You should be worried too. You need to cut all of this out. And I'm thinking to myself now, Real Nice Nate, now if Fine Ass Frank is worried, if Fine Ass Frank don't think he can fix this, then maybe you better leave it alone. Now, Asher, he trying to reason with that dumbass Laurel. Can you just give her some slack? She just lost the love of her life. Laurel and her eyebrows. I lost the love of my life too. I said, girl, you in this love of my life. Oh my God. I know for a fact that if Wes would have survived, he would have been dumped her ass. Child, it'd have been a baby mama, baby daddy situation there. Oh, I'm so annoyed. When she goes into the other room, Michaela comes in there and she was like, do you think I'm being crazy? Yes. And Michaela tries to tell her, no, you know, you're a mom. And I was just like, I am so sick of you guys coddling this dumb bitch. Tell her how she being crazy. You know, Michaela tries to soften the blow and tell her, you know, the baby won't remember anything. Take me, for instance. My birth mother was shot in front of me when I was 2 years old and I don't remember anything. Okay, that's the reason why I ended up in the foster system. And look at me today. I'm an upstanding pillar of the community. Don't take into consideration that I've been involved in multiple murders. If I didn't do it myself, then I was actually a part of the murdering process. Look at me today. Other than that, I'm perfect. I'm thinking to myself, like, Michaela, maybe you ain't the best example, but considering where Laurel came from, you know, maybe Michaela will hit home. All right, and Laurel is looking at her like, oh my God. Okay, so she gives her a hug. All right, quit worrying. That baby gonna be fine, girl. I got my thumb cut off when I was 2 years old. You think I remember? No, I don't. Okay, even though it's a memory every time I look at my thumb. Ding, 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 ding. Now back at the firm, you know, the boss, he goes and has a secret little meeting with the love of his life in the car. All right. And she's telling him how she can't let him take the fall for this, that she's going to, you know, do whatever she got to do, you know, say that she did whatever it was, because I still don't really understand what the hell happened in the case. And of course, he don't want to let her do it. You know, this has been something she built from the ground up, you know, go on and let him take this hit for her. You know, it's the least he can do. And then when they kiss, Annalise come knocking on the window like, hey, the fuck is going on? So he got to get out the car now. He in trouble. So they go in the office and she was like, I mean, what you doing? You out there running around with your girl? Do you remember that you guys have a lawsuit against each other? And he was just like, you know, she was trying to say that she wanted to take the fall, and she was like, she's setting you up. It ain't about no real love. She's trapping you. This is reverse psychology. And he was just like, oh, you know, don't you want to die knowing that you've ever done something good? And she was just like, honey, if you only knew. Okay, well, fine. If you want to be a martyr, you go be a martyr. All right, Annalise is disgusted. Now, Real Nice Nate, fuck it, since he can't get Bonnie to get this damn chain of custody on this gun, he just gonna go over to the cage and evidence cage and find out himself. So the man that he's trying to get the paperwork from, the man was like, no, I'm not giving you the paperwork. I know you don't work for us no more. And you know, Real Nice Nate, instead of him just kind of tucking his tail and leaving, this nigga get to yelling at him. What do you mean? You gotta give that to me. Are you trying to be a part of it? I said, Real Nice Nate, listen. Bring it down. Now you ain't supposed to be there, and you up here about to cuss the man out. Okay, and bringing all this extra attention to you on some shit that you ain't supposed to be doing. I'm just like, Real Nice Nate, somebody get him, please. And then in the middle of him yelling at him, here come the FBI. Real Nice Nate, we'd like to talk to you. I said, see? What the hell I mean? So now we get back to where the show first started. 24 hours later, okay, they swabbing Real Nice Nate's mouth, and when he spoke to Annalise, okay? Now when he hangs up from Annalise, Annalise is at the office, and she's on her way to go talk to the big boss about this case, okay? It's still bothering her, and while she's on her way to talk to him, Steen comes up to her and is telling her about this wrongful, this suing the state that's coming up, that Michaela then got cooked up, and Annalise was like, yeah, don't even do that. Put the halt on that because Real Nice Nate ain't ready to do this. All right, he still wants to look into a criminal court, and if you lose a civil case, and then then we ain't gonna even have to have a chance at the criminal. So just put that shit on hold. And Steen was just like, oh, okay. But Steen mad, and she's suspicious. So she goes and talks to the kids, and the kids say, look, we talked to Real Nice Nate, and he told us that he don't want to do the case now. Okay, and she said, oh, you spoke to him, huh? Yep, we spoke to him. Long story short, Steen know they lying. Why are you guys lying to me? I would have never thought that we'd be back down this road. And she look at Michaela like, bitch, and it's on you. So you can just consider yourself added back to the shit list. Okay, poor Michaela heart just broken. Now, Annalise goes and tells the big boss that, hey, I can't let you do this. Instead of you taking the fall, how about we place the blame on Jensen? I was like, who is Jensen? Well, it turns out Jensen is the woman's lawyer. And I guess he is also somebody, the head honcho at this firm. So she's telling him how we gonna put it on him because he did yada 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 and so what and so forth. And long story short, when they go and tell Jensen, that's what they gonna do, and then the lady, the girlfriend of the ex-lover of the boss, she says, what they write because yada 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 happened, and so they then now circumvented the plan that Jensen had, and now it's gonna fall on his shoulders of whatever. And so Annalise has saved the day, but they done pissed off Jensen now. Okay, so boss says, I hope you realize now that we sitting ducks. And Annalise was like, yeah, they ain't gonna fuck with us because you know what, I got something for them if they do. But I'm thinking to myself like, oh, Annalise, you just create so many enemies all over the place. You better be careful. Now, back to the FBI. Real Nice Nate is explaining to them the inquest, and they looking at him like he's crazy. They tell him that he's crazy. You was acting crazy, okay? You done beat up the damn guard, and now you's up here growling and screaming at the damn man in the cage. Like you like some wild man. And they're trying to convince him that he's making it up. But next thing we see, Real Nice Nate is out and he's there with Annalise and Bonnie. And he's telling them that, they questioned him. He answered all their questions until finally he gave his DNA so that, to prove that was not his father's DNA on that gun. And Annalise was like, you gave him your DNA? Like, why would you do that? Like, this is a perfect chance for them to frame you if that's what they wanted to do. But Real Nice Nate, as far as he sees it, he doesn't have any other choice. He knows that that's not going to be his dad's DNA on that gun. And so he's willing to take the chance. Bonnie is still like, we don't know if that's what it is, Real Nice Nate. And he sits down with her and he says, listen, you took a chance on me. You did what you did for me. Let me do this for you. We got to know for a fact that we got to relieve poor Bonnie's mind that Miller was dirty in some kind of way. Now, we see Gorgeous Gabe, I'm assuming right after he talked to the FBI, he done rushed his ass on back to the apartment. He goes into the fireplace, he gets his secret bag out, he's cutting up his fake ID, he's destroying the hard drive, and next thing you know, there's a knock at the door. I said, oh, who is that? Well, we'll find out later. Because now we see Fine Ass Frank at Bonnie's, and he's looking all through the house for her. Bonnie, where are you? Where are you, Bonnie? He looks in the bathtub. He's hoping that she ain't tried to kill herself in there. She ain't in there, okay? Looks like Bonnie is gone. And then Fine Ass Frank gets home to find Bonnie in his bed. He's relieved to see her. She says that she just didn't want to sleep alone. So he gets in the bed with her and cuddles. I said, aw, we all need a Fine Ass Frank in our lives. Annalise goes and talks to the kids. And while she's trying to tell them what's what, here go Laurel and her eyebrows mad. Okay, talking about the baby, seeing what happened. And Annalise was like, Laurel, we ain't got time for this and you right now. Now, you need to forgive Bonnie because she done already been through a lot. Do you want her to hurt herself? Well, Laurel and eyebrows don't fucking care. Anyway, look, we can't worry about you, Laurel. They tell Annalise that Steen is now suspicious. And speaking of Steen, we see her on the phone. She calls one of her old lawyer friends, I suppose. Well, maybe they was in school together. And that lawyer that I'm thinking of is actually the FBI agent that's questioning Real Nice Nate. Well, the one that's handling the investigation of where is Miller. And Steen leave her a message like, hey, girl, I see you in town. Okay, let me run a few things past you. Give me a call. And so she leaves that voicemail on the woman's phone. And then we see the woman listening to the voicemail. And then here comes Real Nice Nate. They're about to question him. You know, he was like, if you're going to arrest me, then come on, let's do that shit now. She says, no, that's not the reason why we here today. He sits down with the blonde and she says, so we looked into your DNA. Yeah, you were right. Your father's DNA is not on that gun. So somebody manufactured those results that was given to the jury. And now, of course, Real Nice Nate feels vindicated. So it was Miller. And she says, well, we're not ready to go with that assumption just yet. Okay, but we have somebody in custody and we think that, you know, he's going to be able to help us put the pieces together. Back to Annalise, she's telling the kids that, you know, Real Nice Nate has a plan. So we just going to go with that. It's good. He's going to say that Miller and the governor set up his dad, ordered the hit to get him killed. Do you guys understand? And everybody's like, yeah, everybody but Laurel and their eyebrow. Listen, Laurel, do you understand too? Yes, she does. Good. Now everybody here is on the same page, right? Right. And then that's when Annalise gets a call. It is the police department. There's somebody in custody and they're saying that you their lawyer. Well, who is it? You know, Keaton 5-1 is there and they like wanting to know what's going on. And I was like, well, we already know who it is. And of course, we see Gorgeous Gabe, okay, looking all terrified, you know, like, Annalise, this is Gorgeous Gabe and I need a lawyer. I'm hoping you can help me. I said, oh, look at that. Now you need Annalise's help. But you was about to do her in with Miller. See how they do? Everybody is only concerned about self. Like Annalise told old boy, put yourself first. But yeah. That's how it ends. Like I said, I'm pretty cool with the direction of the show right now. How y'all feeling about it though? It definitely makes me feel different than it has in the past. But yeah, still a very well-written, well-acted show. Alright, Roxstars, so that's it. Let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.